Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brennan again, just outside the gym and about to head in and train. But I wanted to update you guys on the BBSM cycle because you're going to see some things that are changing. So we're changing the frequency from 4 times a week of squatting down to twice per week. And we're also switching the focus from high bar back to low bar, as well as switching the focus from sumo deadlifts back to conventional. Now, the main reason for this is because I have a meet coming up on April 13th. And it's not because I couldn't handle the frequency. I could, and I can, and I did. But that really puts me about 4 or 5 weeks out. So we want to make sure that I'm ready, and considering that I squat low bar and I pull conventional in my meet, we want to see how this strength really is going to transfer over from all the work capacity that we've been building up over the past 4 or 5 weeks. Should be a little bit interesting as I haven't pulled conventional or squatted low bar in probably a couple of months, but we'll see how it goes and we'll jump right back into it. So let's go ahead and check it out. So starting off the day with conventional deadlifts, the goal was to do 3 sets of 3 reps each at 505 pounds, with the last set being in as many reps as possible or a plus set. And this is going to be pretty interesting to me because, as I mentioned, I haven't done this probably in around 7 weeks. Not to mention, I haven't started a program day off with deadlifts. Every other time I've done deadlifts, it's been after squats. So I thought it'd be really interesting to see where my strength is at. And going into this, after looking at the routine, I was a little bit worried only because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do this again, not having done it in a long time. The first set went fairly well in my opinion. Second set, pretty well too. So this actually felt really good, and I didn't actually strap on my belt until these sets of 505. So I worked up to heavy sets of 460 pounds previously until I got to 505, then I strapped on my belt. And here you see the plus set, or the as many rep as possible set. And one of the things that I've been trying to do, at least today, is really take my time between reps. And it's not really to rest, so to say. I just don't want to bounce it because that would make it way too easy. As well as I just want to really make sure I have my form down because, again, taking some long time in between doing this, it could easily lead to Snap City. So you see me really just taking my time, not only getting set, but making sure I have a big breath. And I don't know what rep I'm on here, but I managed to squeak out 8 reps. And honestly, I was quite surprised. I was worried that I wouldn't even be able to get 5. So 8 reps at 505, which is pretty good. And I honestly think I probably could have grinded out another 2, but I felt like shit after. This was like an endurance marathon for me, and I was just really tired. From there, we moved on to deficit deads. It called for 3 sets of 3 at 455. And this was something that I had a little bit of trouble with last time around. So what I'm trying to do here is really get my knees and my butt down so this doesn't actually look like a stiff-legged deadlift. I'm only showing you the first set here, and one of the reasons I was trying to get my knees down in that set and really push them through is because we then had to follow that up with stiff-legged deadlifts from a deficit. So I wanted to make sure I tried to keep my legs straighter here. And in this case, it only really called to do heavy sets of 6 up to a 6-rep max. So I went to 365, which is about 20 pounds heavier than I did on the previous week's programs, and this felt really good. And one of the things I can also say about this routine is the fact that my grip strength has tremendously improved. As you'll notice here that I'm able to do double overhand here of 365. Not to mention every other exercise I'm doing on this day really relies on your grip strength, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. So from there, we moved on to 2 sets of weighted chin-ups, called for between 6 to 8 reps. I just went with 25 pounds here for both sets, only because, again, I wasn't really sure where to go off of this. I usually like to take the first workout back on a new cycle to really figure out the weights. From there, we then moved on to bent over dumbbell rows, and the same kind of thing here. Called for 2 sets of 15 reps, and I just chose to use 80 pounds, kept the weight static. Although next time I'll probably bump up the weight some. So I'm really looking forward to going back onto this part of the routine, only because I feel a lot more confident and my numbers are a lot better, and I'm looking to really see how these things transfer over from some of the high bar work and the sumo pulls I've been doing. And we have roughly around 4 to 5 weeks to really get my shit together and really kind of put up or shut up at the next meet, which again is April 13th. So from my last meet, I was able to total 1425, had aspirations of getting close to 1500, except my deadlift didn't really go as planned. So I'm glad we're making the switch back to conventional and that it went fairly well today, again, despite the fact not doing it for a while. So that wraps up the training session. I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, stay big.